Hey traders, checking in on the cryptocurrency space, finally getting some hourly oversold conditions, and the Bitcoin bulls did not disappoint with a significant bounce. And now we're talking bull flag as we look towards all-time highs. We're going to highlight a crypto miner, and I love the daily chart. I'll show you why. Bulls in control. So MARA is the crypto mining stock that I am interested in, and it is extremely strong. And if you look at peers, it is extremely strong. So I get asked tickers from TheChartGuys members for analysis. People ask about Riot a lot. Every time I get a Riot request, I just have to point out MARA is so much stronger than Riot, technically speaking. So let's just look. Right now, MARA is close to testing the high of September, which is the highest price that we've seen in 6 months. Riot, where do we stand? We're not anywhere near the high of yesterday, let alone the high of September, let alone the high of the last 6 months. We're almost at the low. It's a night and day difference. Other than that, we've got Coinbase, tightening daily range, not close to the recent highs. We've got MSTR, bull move, bull flag. Closest, I would say MARA, MSTR, Coin, and then Riot are the rankings of strongest to weakest out of the names that we just looked at. So MARA is a daily cup and handle. There's a bunch of calls that were bought today. I believe there was unusual call volume for $80 December 2021. That's banking on a new Bitcoin all-time high run. But it's a cup and handle where we have a very clear resistance level of 44.97. Consolidation. We make our move up to test resistance. We fail it. We form a bull flag. And now we're testing these resistances for a breakout. So I'm looking at 44.12 and 44.97. And if those levels break, we're then looking up at, there's one little level at 45, and then the next level is 51. So we're entering an area with a lack of resistance if we can take out those levels. And that would essentially be MARA following Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin already set the weekly higher low and higher high. And MARA would be following along if we can break that resistance. We are still correlated to Bitcoin, but a lot of volume. We're going to be looking for an hourly higher low. I am kicking myself because I missed the entry here. It was just such a beautiful 15-minute bull flag. Inside bar, bull break. Just a very low risk entry opportunity. 5-minute equilibrium broke bull. And I knew that I was looking for an entry and just missed it at that point in time. And I also missed a Bitcoin trade. I missed the hourly oversold conditions, which again had a great bounce. So we dropped down. Hourly oversold for the first time. It's a back burner bounce. I've been waiting for this trade for 5 days. And I have my position, so I don't have FOMO, but I'm just saying the next trade that I'm interested on Bitcoin is the next time we see hourly oversold, and potentially that's leading to daily consolidation as well. And so I'm sitting there watching this chart and ready, and then I remember, oh, I have a meeting. So I go to the meeting, and it's a 15-minute, 20-minute meeting, and it's right when the flush and V-shaped bounce take place. I could have put in limit orders, but honestly, I forgot Bitcoin existed while I was in that meeting because my mind was completely elsewhere, focused on other things. So that's just the way that life goes, and that happens to all traders. So a little bit of frustration, but in the end, it's A-okay. So V-shaped bounce, very significant. We then dropped down significantly. There was an article published about the likelihood of ETFs being rejected. That probably played a little bit of a factor in the pullback. Bulls got a chance to bottom fish, and then a V-shaped bounce to a higher high. So we're back in a 4-hour uptrend, and it's a daily inside bar, and it's a daily bull flag here as well. Daily consolidation started, 0 bear follow through, bulls still aggressively buying dips, and our new short-term support is 53.9. So let's say I want to go aggressive. Let's say I think an all-time high is coming here over the weekend. I can enter a position and use that low as a stop. I'm already in swing positions. Let's say I want to go aggressive and only risk some of my profit in the positions I'm already in. I could add more and use that level as a stop. If that level holds, we're going to see all-time highs shortly. If that level breaks, further daily consolidation coming, still looking for a higher low, but a bull flag and short-term all-time high would then become a lot less likely if that level breaks from here. So it all depends on whether you want to be aggressive or conservative, but that is now a clear level to be playing off of. We had the TraderPro alert system firing off a handful of alerts, and it was multiple alerts in conjunction with each other. This is TraderPro.com. And we had the super stack alert, which is based on multiple time frames aligning oversold conditions at the same time. We had our back burner trade, which is first oversold conditions coming off a significant bull run on the daily time frame. And you look at that and say, well, we dropped a lot further, but this lower wick was just a little liquidity flush with stops triggering. And that wick was about 5 minutes long. You know, we dipped down for 2 minutes, we V-shaped bounce for 2 minutes, and we were right back up to where the hourly RSI first hit 30. So it's multiple things firing off. We had a 15-minute climax, and that is RSI in conjunction with volume that we're looking at. So essentially, when all those alerts are firing off at each other, we know it's first oversold from a significant bull run because of our back burner. We know it is an oversold climax because of volume and RSI levels. And we know it's a super stack because a bunch of different time frames were all aligning oversold at the same time. And we bounce. The Bitcoin dominance chart is also bouncing at the moment over the last 4 hours. It pulled back notably. You can see the 4-hour time frame dropping considerably. But why are we bouncing? It's just a bull move that's focused on Bitcoin. This multiple hour move up. While we were consolidating around, the altcoin bulls were gaining a little bit of strength comparative to Bitcoin. But again, it's still short-lived, and as long as the dominance chart is in a daily uptrend, Bitcoin has the attention. And there's a notable market shift taking place. The notable market shift over the last 10 days, we'll call it, maybe 2 weeks at this point, has been Bitcoin ignoring broader market weakness. It has done that at multiple times, but doing that, the dominant shift, very notable. The alt relationship comparative to Bitcoin because of that dominant shift being very notably different. It's a different market environment. Being able to recognize that is very important. We've been in a different stock market environment over the last month as we've been consolidating. So recognizing shifts in the market environment are key because our trading styles must react and adjust to the market environment shifts as well. So we have crypto traders now that are buying Bitcoin on these dips rather than altcoins, even though they've been buying altcoins on dips for the last year, because it's a different market environment right now. What I'm watching for, are we going to set a weekly lower high on this dominance bounce and continue to tighten up? Or are we going to get Bitcoin all-time highs, continued dominance? And that's the question. Again, if 54,000 holds, we will see all-time highs shortly. If it breaks, that can delay things a bit. So MARA right now, 15-minute consolidation underway. A patient bull is going to look for an hourly higher low to be looking for an entry. But resistance is right there. And we're close to a breakout. ETH/USD, tight. Multiple daily inside bars as we're trading sideways. It's a 4-hour equilibrium. Anything under 35, 32 is just a lower high. And this is a good looking equilibrium to pay attention to. Nice and tight. If there's anything Bitcoin has shown us, it's that tight patterns are worth playing the breaks of. And the Bitcoin daily tight range that broke bull, obviously a ton of follow through. We had a long-term equilibrium that had me go real aggressive into Bitcoin back in the teens before we got new all-time highs. So pay attention to long tightening ranges. Ethereum's only a 4-hour tightening range, but just want to make that note that daily tightening ranges on Bitcoin, equilibriums are great. So ETH/USD, the BTC chart is trying to bounce and it's failing to do so. We just can't change the 4-hour trend. It's just a 4-hour lower high every bounce attempt. And even here, it's a trend change attempt and we fail. So the daily RSI is approaching oversold. And if we're going to get ETH/USD follow through on a 4-hour bull break and a daily inside bar bull break, we need to see this BTC pairing get daily bounce follow through. And even if we're just looking for a daily lower high, we need that bounce follow through. And bigger picture, I am scouting a higher low compared to 549. We'll call it 5.5, but there's still a ways to go before we get to that level. But that is the most important level to me that I am anticipating a higher low compared to. Binance getting attention. They had some news with their on-chain yada yada. That's about as much as I know about that news, but I know that it brought volume and a shift, a significant bounce to higher highs. And now we're looking back up at 510 and 519 resistances. And you can see the dominance chart, or the BTC pairing, made a massive move as well. And bigger picture, 2-week time frame, key level here, the lowest that Bitcoin had been comparative, the lowest that Binance had been comparative to Bitcoin in the last 6 months. We held right above that level for that bounce. So we need follow through. That's just a news reaction initially. Give me a daily trend change to prove it. So once we top out, anything under 9.1 is just a lower high here. We must confirm the daily trend change if this bull move is going to have staying power. But the Binance bulls will certainly take it. Highest price in over a month. And looking back at weekly resistance. And again, as I've been pointing out, there's a ton of altcoins that are a good bit below their weekly resistance. And if they're going to break those weekly resistances, which for Binance is 519, in my opinion, we need a Bitcoin all-time high, raging bull move. We need it to top out and find a tightening daily range where we trade sideways for a while, and then for those profits to trickle into the altcoin space for a little alt season. Because if that does not happen, a ton of altcoins are shaping up for weekly lower highs, many of them already setting it. So let's just go through a list. I'm forgetting off the top of my head who has done what, but Theta USDT, weekly lower high, is set. Link USDT, weekly lower high set. So we're close to confirming weekly downtrends. Not close, but it's on the table on a bunch of these names. And there's more. I'm just not remembering them all off the top of my head. Sushi, USDT. Now it looks a lot different setup. So keep an eye on those weekly resistance on these altcoins, because Bitcoin has the spotlight as it is proximity shrinks before we get towards those all-time highs. SHIB USDT, I'd be scouting bearish right now. Why? We have a pattern of a higher low, essentially, every day for the last many, many days. This is the stair-step strategy. There's a YouTube video on it on our channel, but we've been forming a higher low 3, 6, 9, 12, 16 days in a row, and look at us getting really tight. I'm viewing this as essentially in one daily candle, a high, a low, scouting the lower high, and if the inside bars break bear, we'll scout a higher low compared to this support level down at 2058. But things are getting real tight here, and it just looks to me like bulls are losing a little momentum. 4-hour equilibrium. 2 ways to play it: entering bearish on a bear break, or top fishing resistance. You know, on this bounce, I can make a bear entry and put a stop over 32. It can break bull. Certainly need to protect the position, but I would be scouting for a bear break, and we have to see the BTC pattern do the same thing. Inside bars must break bear for that bear break to get any follow through if we do get it. SOL USDT, we've been watching it for the weekly lower high, and now we're watching it because it's a beautiful equilibrium. And we're going to be watching for this weekly higher low, anything above 118, 116. And we're going to see this break before the end of the year. And the tighter it gets, the better before that break takes place. And then we'll expect a volatility and volume spike when that happens. But first things first, we need a higher low compared to 116. So I really like this weekly chart for its clarity. SOL BTC, much weaker, but it is too looking for a weekly higher low. So keep an eye on MARA, daily cup and handle. Bitcoin 54,000 support. Daily bull flag attempt. Watch that dominance chart, which is continuing to favor Bitcoin bulls. There are definitely still trades for altcoins out there. You just want to ensure that if you're looking bullish in altcoins, that their BTC pairings are bouncing at the same time. Check out TraderPro.com. Again, you can try it for free and play around with things. And if you feel like paying for the more detailed alerts, but again, I just love the job that Toby has done in far as design and being able to scroll back and look at things and see how things have played out in the past. Gonna have a Trader Talk interview coming out on our YouTube channel. We just did one with a TheChartGuys member, John, which was very insightful. But I got one with Devin, who has been focusing on the cryptocurrency space, who has had a whale of a year in terms of gains, and we'll publish that potentially this weekend. But that's one to keep an eye out for if you're into the cryptocurrency space. We talk about aggressive mindset, looking to level up, versus conservative mindset, and how he's been navigating these markets. Don't forget to do good things. I hope you're wonderful, and we'll see you soon.